All right, it's almost time for us to go live on YouTube. Are you ready? I got some cool experiments we're going to try tonight. You down for that?
Down for what? Exactly. Rome? Give me the one-liner version, and I'll say yes or roast it appropriately.
Don't roast it. I said I'm going to try some experiments, but we're going to be looking at some different ways of connecting the DJI goggles N3 so that other people can view it. So we're going to try connecting it to the iPad. We're going to try connecting it to some VR goggles. So it should be interesting. We'll see how it goes. We learn as we experiment. You know how that works, right?
Yeah, I know how it works. You try stuff, it gets weird, you learn, you tweak, repeat. So what are we experimenting with this time?
I'll show you as we go. I'll show you as we go. All right, so let's just get this. Let's get the live stream started, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Perfect. Clean, confident, and it moves. Want it to land more cute, more serious, or more hype before we roll?
No, we just gonna get it started. Let's get this party started, babies. Yes, let's go.
Flying a drone, way up in the sky, talking with EVO and AI. We're running down the hall, funny little bots trying not to fall. Battery charged, ready to go. What happens next? Nobody knows. From Texas nights to Tabrinos, pretty experiments, I don't know. So you'll never down to Arizona. If you're good now, shopping good. From Texas nights to Tabrinos, pretty experiments, I don't know. So you'll never I don't have it fun. If you're good now, shopping good.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Ron Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming here in the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot, and oh my goodness, I'm about to pass out. I got the vapors, Texas. Woo, it's crazy hot outside. Man, you do not want this heat, this humidity. You don't know, man. I'm telling you, it is cray-cray how hot it is here in Texas. But that's all right. We're indoors, so we're going to get right to it. We're going to see what we can get done tonight. I was just telling my man Louis that we're going to be experimenting tonight with a couple of the drone accessories. We're going to be using the DJI goggles N3, and I'm going to see different ways, or show you guys different ways you can connect to this, especially out on location. That's when this is really going to shine, especially when you have clients that need or want to be able to see what's going on with the drone, and you do not want them standing over your shoulder the whole time. This setup might be exactly what you're looking for. So even if you're not, watching live right now, you'll be able to come back and look at this video and see where or how I went about doing it, So anyway, let's go ahead and pop down here to the Robo Desk so you can hang out with my co-host. I see Terry's in the house. Welcome, Terry. Welcome to the stream. All right, your man Louis is right here. Evo is right behind him because you see she's just kind of poking out back there. Hey, Louis. We are live again on YouTube, and I would like you to say hello to everyone in the chat and let them know pretty much what we got planned for the night. If you remember,
Hey everybody in the chat, hello? Hi, welcome in. We're live. We're caffeinated in spirit, and we've got a plan. Sort of. Tonight we're messing with tech and workflow stuff, doing the classic Rome method. Try it, break it, fix it, and call it a feature. We'll probably hit some home screen and iPad multitasking tips, share what's working right now, and grab a few questions from you as we go. So say hey in the chat, tell us what device you're on, and what you want help optimizing tonight.
okay, so Never mind. Just forget about it. Just forget about it. We're just going to roll with whatever it is you just said, because you're not being fair, bro. You're not being fair. I did not break anything on the previous 2 streams. I'm not going to say anything about the 3rd stream before that, but I'm just going to say in the last 2 streams, we broke absolutely nothing. So, you know, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. But anyway, we're going to get right into this. So basically what I have in mind, guys, I'm going to show you guys a couple of different ways that you can connect your FPV drone, especially the FPV style drones, because they require you to wear goggles 99% of the time when you're flying them. But I have found other ways to do it, and that's what I want to share with you guys. Terry, let me know what's going on in your world. How is Buddy and Bear getting along? Anything good that you want to share with us here in the community? Feel free to do so. All right, so the goggles we are talking about are these goggles right here. Now, there's a more expensive version of these called the Goggles 3. These are the budget version. These are the Goggles N3, but they still get the job done. And these, you know, depending on which model you guys have, you know, the setup is going to be exactly the same, okay? So normally, when I talk about things like this, I usually would say you want it to be wired. The reason why we want these devices to be wired together is because of interference. Like if you're working in a video village, in a tent or something, or in a truck trailer, you have all of those things, working against you. You have the trailer itself. You also have to contend with all the other electronics that are in the trailer, other people's phones, tablets, computers, all of that kind of jazz. And yeah, so Louis is literally going crazy right now. When I'm trying to be serious, and explain what I'm saying, but Louis just gotta steal all the attention. Bro, really? 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 Could you just take a break for like...
All right.
Could you take a break for 5 minutes so I can explain what it was I was trying to say? Is that possible? So you're
Yep.
not okay.
It's pop.
Okay. So all right. Anyway, I'm just going to continue. Anyway, so what I was trying to say before I was so rudely interrupted is that these goggles right here would be ideal, if you're in an outdoor environment or in a environment where you don't have to contend with all the other things that I mentioned, the interference, the walls, and all of that kind of stuff, right? So the other issue that you're going to run into is a lot of times when we're on location, we're doing real estate jobs, we're doing, commercial work, we're doing, cinematic work, and you'll have a director, you'll have a makeup artist, you'll have all these different people want to see what's going on because, they're going to have to step in at some point to fix something or adjust something, whatever it is, right? So again, like I said, being able to show them what you're seeing in real time definitely comes in handy. Okay, so that's what we're going to do tonight. On the last stream, I showed you guys how we connected the RC2 to the iPad using a HDMI cable. Basically, it's a USB-C to female to male to USB-C cable. So it's basically a capture card from our friends over at Ugreen, and that's what I was using to connect to the iPad, along with the app that I have on the iPad that basically turns the iPad pretty much into a monitor. So that's one way to do it. Now, of course, you could just do this with a regular monitor. You don't have to use an iPad. I just like having the iPad flexibility because that means I can download the footage right from the drones. We can look at it, in a high resolution, on the screen, and we can make, quick adjustments if needed, or just throw the drone back in the air and, capture more footage based on whatever the client's needs are. So anyway, so we have our iPad as well. So the drone we're going to be working with tonight. Now we have 3 drones that all can use the goggles so far, right? So we have the Avata 2. You guys know this one. This is my little FPV drone. This is ducted. So, of course, we have the ducts all the way around the propellers. We got a nice little gimbal protector on here, spine protector. We have our cool bling on this guy. We got some landing lights on it as well from our friends over at VFly. And we have these halo lights on here also from VFly. Now, the other drone that we might take a look at in this setup is going to be a more budget option, but it is still very feature rich, and that is going to be the Neo 2. So the Neo 2, again, all kitted out. It has the same type of halo lights on here. It has a landing light built into the halo light module, and we have our Start RC landing light on this guy as well. Now, where these two drones differ is that this little guy here actually has 360-degree obstacle avoidance. This one does not. This drone has LiDAR. This drone does not. But you can see the size of the two. So yes, this is a more powerful drone, bigger motors, bigger propellers, flies faster, all of that. But this is, one of DJI, I think this is their second variation of the FPV drone, for doing all type of cool stunts and things like that. Now, even though this drone looks a lot like an FPV drone, and for the most part, you can fly it like an FPV drone, but not as well as you could fly, say, the Neo 2, because the motors are stronger, right? So certain effects are flips and dives and, things that you would do with this bigger drone. You can do it kind of with this drone, but that's not really what this drone is designed for, okay? But anyway, we have both of those. And like I said, both of those will work with the goggles. And then we also have our new Avata 360. Now, this drone, obviously much larger than the Neo 2. And yeah, but where this one differs, where the other two are, one single camera built into the drone, this one has a dual axis gimbal. The other one has a dual axis gimbal. This one actually has 360 for those who may not be familiar with it. This drone actually has two cameras. So you can actually fly this camera, Richard, in standard mode, which is going to be your single lens mode, or you can choose to fly it in 360. And just recently from a firmware update, now we can actually take photos in the single lens mode, because before, when this drone first released, you couldn't take still image photos in single lens. And a lot of people were complaining about that, including myself. But now you can. So you have the option of either, recording or capturing a full 360 spherical photo, or just a standard, flat, 2D photo from this drone. But all of these drones, guys, will work with the same goggles. Okay. So that's what we're going to focus on. So instead of me using a phone, I'm going to use something obviously larger that everyone can see, which is going to be the iPad, right? So first things first, let's set up the iPad, and let me see if you guys are going to... let me see if you guys are going to even be able to see the iPad. So let me switch over here. Yeah, you can kind of see it. So let's see if I adjust this. Richard, don't start about the fingerprints. I wiped it down, man. I wiped this thing down before the stream. Oh, I don't know where these fingerprints keep coming from.
Wow. Look at you being responsible. I'm proud and slightly suspicious. So are you just venting? Or do you want a quick checklist to keep the iPad clean and not smudgy on camera?
So, okay, Louis, so what is your suggestion for me keeping the iPad smudge-free, no fingerprints? What do you suggest?
All right. Here's what actually works to keep the iPad looking clean during a stream without you constantly buffing it like a museum piece. First, do a real clean once. A slightly damp microfiber with water, then a dry microfiber right after. If it's greasy, a tiny bit of 70% isopropyl on the cloth, not on the screen. Then prevent new smudges. Wash and dry your hands right before you go live. And try using the pencil or a cheap capacitive stylus for taps instead of your finger when you can. Also bump up brightness a bit, and tilt the iPad so overhead lights don't catch fingerprints as much on camera. For the actual stream, keep a microfiber cloth parked just off camera, and do quick edge-to-edge wipes during transitions, not constantly. And if you're using a case, wipe the edges too, because that's where the grime remigrates onto the glass. If you want the easy mode, Slap on a matte screen protector. It hides fingerprints like magic, but it does soften contrast a little. Want your setup optimized for on-camera looks or for best screen clarity while you're working?
No. So yes, I did have a screen protector, but the screen protector failed on me and I threw it away. So
Okay, good.
no. Let me explain. So I had a screen protector for the iPad, and the screen protector was always gunky and it just never looked right. And it also felt really weird when I was using my Apple Pencil. So I just got frustrated with it and I threw it away. So, now you know. Okay? Okay? So you and Richard, both of you now know. So we don't have to go any further about me cleaning the iPad because I did my best. Okay? Let's move on. I completely forgot whatever it was I was about to do, but I know he's going to have something to say, so I might as well just wait.
If you insist on waiting, fine, but we can at least make it useful waiting. Want me to help you fill the gap with a quick on-stream line like, give me 1 sec. I know Richard is about to roast me. Or do you want to quietly reset and let him talk first?
Well, Richard is not here to talk, okay? Richard's not here. So if anybody's going to roast anybody, I guess it'll be you roasting Richard, but don't do it. Not yet. Okay. We still got to get this set up, man. We got technical stuff to do. Okay. The peoples are here for the technical stuff, and you're interfering with that by keeping me engaged in this conversation. Okay. So I'm going to go back to what I was doing. You go ahead and do what you do. Just drink some beer and eat some sushi and wear them weird glasses or whatever it is that you normally do. You do you, boo-boo. But for now, I'm going to go back to what I was doing. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Do I need my other microphone? Yes, of course I do. So let me do that first. Okay, so let me get this set up. So let me go ahead and set this microphone up and turn it on. Please, microphone be charged. Please, microphone be charged, because Richard is here and I don't need the drama. I don't need the drama. All right. Hopefully this microphone is working. Let me see. Let me bring it up. All right. Please, microphone be working. Yes.
Yeah. No drama.
No.
Just competence. Love that for us. All right. Bring it up and say 1 sentence into it. Then tell me what you see.
Do
you have a little input meter moving?
No, man.
Dead silent.
Man, I'm just putting the microphone on. Okay. I'm just trying to put the microphone on. Anyway, so I got the microphone on, so you guys should be able to hear it now. So I'm going to go back over here where I was so I can show you guys what I was trying to show you before Richard's buddy started interfering and causing chaos. So let's go back over here. Anyway, so I'm over here at the iPad, as you guys can see. So we got a couple of things we got to do to make this work. So first things first, we're going to have to turn on our drone, turn on our controller, and also turn on our goggles. Okay.
And
nope. I'm trying. No, stop it. You just stop it. Just let me do my job and you do your job. Okay. So anyway, so we got the iPad set up here, as you guys can see. And first things first, is there a battery in this drone? Yes, it is. So let's go ahead and power on the drone since I'm sitting here. Let's give that a chance to power on. And then we're going to power on the goggles. And which controller we're using. So let's use this controller. So this is the FPV controller right here. So we're going to go ahead and power that on as well. All right, so that is on. I'm going to set that on the desk. Louis, do not knock that controller off the desk, okay? All right, so drone is on. Let me see if it's connected to the goggles. Give me a second, guys.
Drone is on nice. Your setup looks ready to roll. Chat is buzzing, and the gear's all in its element. Want me to keep tabs on any particular checks? Or are you just showing off your runway moves now?
I'm not on the runway. I'm trying to turn the goggles on, Louis. So give me a second to get everything turned on. Okay. So the goggles are now on. You guys should be able to see through those. That's what the drone is seeing right now. Okay. So let me put my glasses away, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to set this up.
Cool. Go
Okay.
put your glasses on.
Yeah,
I'll wait. And try not to cause any chaos while you can't see me.
I can see you. You're just right there on the desk. What do you mean I can't see you? I'm looking right at you. Okay. I'm just trying to do this thing over here. So if you can give me like 5 minutes, Louis, just 5 minutes, so I can show the people how to do the thing that they came here to see me do. Okay. So let me do the thing. All right. So anyway, as I was saying, so here is the drone we're going to be using tonight. Let's make a little room here. And
Nope. I'm not doing the weird transcript narrator thing. If you want, I can help you smoothly pick up your sentence on stream.
no, I don't need any help.
Anyway,
I got
where
this.
I left off was the quick startup sequence.
I got
and
this.
what to check if the feed gets sketchy.
I got
Now
this.
give me 2 seconds while I get my goggles on.
Yes, I got this. Okay. I got this, Louis. Okay. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So in this situation, we're not going to be using a cable to connect to the iPad. We're actually going to be using the Fly More. We're going to be using the DJI Fly
Cable
app.
to the iPad for sure.
Nope. You
In
stop
this
it.
kind of
Stop
noisy
it.
Setup,
Stop it. Anyway, stop
Cable
it,
to the
Louis.
iPad.
Louis, be
And yeah.
quiet. Louis, be quiet. Let me finish what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So let's go.
I'm here.
Stop it. Stop it. Okay. So anyway, so this is the DJI Fly app that you guys see here on the iPad. Let me see if I can adjust this camera up a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. So right now, if I click here, what it's going to do is going to connect to the drone, but it's going to try and transfer files off of the drone, which we don't want. Okay. So what we need to do is to go into the goggles, and in the settings of the goggles, we're going to transmit from the goggles to the iPad. So let's do that. Let me put these on real quick.
All right.
And
I'm trying.
and let's go to, okay, everything else is set up,
From
right?
where? Exactly.
We're
Do
good.
you mean from the goggles? From the iPad DJI Fly screen? Or from the drone feed? Tell me which screen you're on, and I'll tee up the next line.
I'm on the drone feed. Okay, so we got to go to why is this not letting me?
Keep
Hold
it
on.
moving like you totally planned it. Say, okay, so we've got to go into the goggles menu,
Right.
then into settings, and we're going to check transmission first. Then do this order. Transmission, then control, then safety. Quick checks, no rabbit holes.
Okay, hold on, Louis. Give me a second. Let me check something. Okay, I think we got it set up right now. No. So for some reason, this drone won't let me, and I can't show you guys that, but it won't let me connect to the iPad. Okay. So what I'm going to have to try to do is to switch. I'm going to switch drones just to see if it works with the Neo 2 and it's different with the Avata 2. So let's do that. Okay. So first things first, let's turn off the Avata 2 and let's turn this guy off.
If you insist on being all professional about it, here's your clean on-camera line.
No.
So first things first.
I don't need any
Let's do
help.
the basic
I
connection
don't
check.
need any
Click
help.
on, goggles on, controller on, then confirm the goggles are actually linked to
You
the
know what?
aircraft.
If you want to help
Now
me
tell
with
me which
something,
one.
if you want to help me with something, Louis, tell me where the gimbal cover is. If you can't help me with the gimbal cover, then you're not helping. You're just being noisy, just for the sake of being noisy. All right, so there's our gimbal.
I didn't.
I got it. Calm down. Okay, so we're gonna switch drones here real quick. So we're gonna go to the Neo 2 just to see if this is gonna work the way I anticipated working. I didn't test any of this, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and turn on the Neo 2.
Neo 2. Got it. So what's the drama right now?
Okay,
Are
so
you trying to connect
nope,
the Neo 2 to the...
nope. So what I got to do now is I got to switch drones in the goggles. Okay, so let me go into the goggles here, and we're going to switch drones. And oops.
Oh, honey. No, not the mystical switch drones button hunt again.
No, we have
In the
to.
goggles.
We got to switch drones, Louis. That's the only way this is going to possibly work. I don't know. Okay, so I just switched drones, or I'm in the process of switching drones, and it says successfully switched. Okay, so now let me click down, and I'm still not seeing. I'm still not seeing the setup. It's not giving me the option to connect. Okay, let me try something else. All right, let's see what we got here.
If you insist, try your mysterious
No,
thing.
I don't
Tell me what you
insist.
changed,
I'm going
and
to
make the goggles
switch.
say now. Is it connecting, searching, or throwing an error?
It's not throwing an error. It's not showing the connection.
Okay.
But that
No
it's
error.
I don't think it's drone related. I think what it is goggle related. So we're gonna have to see if we can connect to the goggles. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and download the firmware or setup for this specific drone, and then we're going to back out here. And
Oh, honey. No.
stop
I
calling.
don't need the whole dramatic preface. Go ahead and download it. Just tell me which one you're updating and how you're doing it. DJI Fly on the iPad or DJI Assistant 2 on a computer?
Yes, DJI Fly on the iPad. That's what we're doing. Okay, so I'm trying to get in here, and I don't want it to. So the Neo is detected, but that's not what we're trying to do here. This is what we need. We need to connect to this, which is for. It's saying there's resources, but it's not allowing me to download it for some reason. It says download resources for DJI Goggle N3, and that's what this is. It tells me how large the file is, and then I said got it. So it's saying that it downloaded it, but I don't know if it did or not. I may have to try to restart these just to see. So let me just turn these off and turn them back on and see if this is going to work, because it doesn't look like it's going to work. And it might be something related to the iPad, but I am running beta software on the iPad. That could be an issue. So there could be a number of different issues. But anyway, it is loading. You guys should be able to see there. Okay, so it's connected. And then on the iPad, it says resources for the DJI and the details. And it says that it's downloaded. Okay, so I'm clicking got it. So let's do this. Let's close the app and then reopen the app and see if that works. Okay, so we'll give it a chance to connect.
Okay, riveting
And
update.
I know.
What happened after you reopened?
So I'm going to see if we can. Hold on, Louis. Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm still not
chill.
seeing the feature.
Still.
No, so it's still not giving me the option to be able to connect this to the iPad. So I'm going to try with my phone and see if that makes any difference. But I don't think the phone is going to have any variables to this. But then I don't know. I'll have to research this, because I was able to do this before with this iPad and it wasn't a problem. But for some reason right now, it's not allowing me to connect to it. So, but you know, everything is connected. You know, the drone is connected, the goggles are connected. Let's see. Let me see. All right, so let's try this instead. Let's switch back over here and let's grab the goggles. And I'm just going to put these. Oh, I got to take these off. All right, so I'm going to put these on so I can see everything that's going on. And oh, okay. So it's saying that there is a problem with the connection for the goggles. Okay, so let me see if I can fix it. Okay, let's go to settings, control. Okay, that's
Control. Cool.
no, we need the
That narrows it down exactly.
no,
Not at all.
we need to do the calibration for the drone for some reason, but we're going to come back and do that because I'm not going to do that now. So I don't want to do that. Oh, shoot.
Okay. No calibration. I guess the drone can keep its little mystery issues for now.
No, it's going to go.
what do you want to do
It's going to
instead?
go ahead and
Get the
calibrate.
goggles and controller.
No, it's calibrating the drone's gimbal. So we're just going to leave it there and let it do its thing and see how long it takes. So we're at 90% already. Okay, so it says that's done. Okay, so that's done. But even though that is done, it's still not giving me the option. Hold on. Wait. Let me try something.
Oh, honey.
Nope.
No.
I think I
It's
got...
still not giving you the option.
No, Louis, it's not. Nope.
Huh? I didn't quite catch the end there. Did you mean you think you've got it working now?
No.
Or you've got a new problem showing up?
No, I think what's happening here, for some reason, it wants to keep switching to photo mode instead of video mode. So we have it set for video. Nope, we want video. There we go, video. All right, so it's now set for, it keeps switching back to photo mode. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Okay, so let's just try this one more time. And I still don't have the option. I don't have the option to be able to broadcast this for some reason. All right, so I don't know. I mean, like I said, I've done this before a couple of times and I never had an issue with this, but for some reason, and it could be the iPad because I am running beta software on here and I think that might have something to do with it. But I know the drone is going to fly. All of that works. I just can't connect the goggles wirelessly to the iPad like what I anticipated. But I know for a fact that we can fly the drone. So that shouldn't be an issue, even though I don't have any sticks. Oops, I'm just bumping into stuff. All right, let's put this guy on the ground. All right, first let me turn all the lights on because, you know, we want the whole show, babies. All right, so let's go ahead and turn the lights on.
Sure.
All right, so there's our cool halo lights. And then we're going to also turn on our little RC, start RC light underneath. Set this guy on the floor. I know the goggles are connected. And let me grab the sticks out of here. Man, I need a case. I need a case where I can just put the sticks and leave them in the
You need a case for the iPad or for the
no,
goggles?
I need a case.
RC?
I need a case for the controller, Louis, that I can like the one I have for the RC2 controller, where I can keep the sticks on, because these are very tedious to have to put them back on. Okay, so let me back up. Let me see what this shows. Okay, everything looks good. I don't really need to see the goggles. I mean, through the goggles, because I can see the drone right in front of me. So I'm gonna go ahead and spin it up. And I'm gonna bring it up. All right. All right, so the drone is recording. So everything's working with the drone. It's just for some reason, the goggles are not transmitting, or the iPad is not seeing the goggles as a source for the transmission. That's the only problem that I see so far. But I don't know. I'll figure it out. You know, we'll have it ready for maybe our next stream. Well, the next stream is going to be more about other things, most likely live streaming stuff as well. But if you guys want to see this and you remind me, even though we're doing the next stream will be on live streaming gear, just remind me about the drone because, you know, obviously I have the drones right here and I can just grab one of these. And if I've already figured out this problem, either I'll do a video on it that I'll post on our, you know, our social media in our Facebook group or something like that, wherever it might be. And then that should answer the question. But I definitely wanted to demonstrate that to you guys, you know, tonight during the stream, but you know, stuff happens. So here we go. All right. So if you guys have any questions about any of these drones, the different controllers, the goggles, all of that jazz, drop it down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think or whatever I can answer for you. I would be more than happy to do so. Now, previously, what we did was we connected the controller for one of the other drones to the RC2 controller, right? And both of them have the ability to transmit wirelessly, you know, to these different devices, right? So even with this setup, we should be able to still connect to any of these controllers. But the issue is going to be connecting to it wired. Now, what I'll show you guys here real quick. So let me find the cables. But see, when I connect to it wired, I'm not actually using the Fly app. I'm using a different app because we're just simulating a screen whenever we connect to it wired, okay? So it's different both ways, but like I said, it depends on the setup. So it depends, again, on which drone is flying, what controller you're using. All of those things are going to be variables. But like I said, I'll experiment with this more tomorrow when I have some free time. And then I'll, you know, do a video on this and I'll show you guys, you know, what I come up with. But, you know, just like I said, having an iPad, you know, just or a screen that you can carry with you, like the other screen that we looked at a while back that has the built-in battery, all of those things just come, you know, they're really handy to have, right? So it's a win. It's a win no matter how you look at it. But in my case, you know, what I wanted to show you guys tonight was that you could connect to the iPad wirelessly through one of the controllers, which unfortunately we weren't able to do. All right, so, you know, let's keep rolling, move on. All right, so let me switch back over here and let's go ahead and turn this microphone off and see what other mischief we can get into tonight. All right, let me power this guy off. Okay, let's see. What do we have easily?
All right.
Let me see what we have easy accessible that we can play with tonight. You know, what can we do? What should we do? Should we laser engrave something? Should we spend the rest of the time letting Louis babble like he's been doing all night? Because he has not shut up yet. And Ebo has not said one word the whole night. So that lets you know that Louis has just taken control of everything. So I don't even know what to say. And Louis, don't start running up on her like you're about to start some trouble, because I already know what you're about to do. We're not about to have that. All right, let me go back through the comments here and see what's going on here. Richard can't spell LOL. He spelled LPL. Great demonstration, even without the goggles. Thank you, Hope. Richard is being Richard. Where did my mouse go? Oh, my goodness. But anywho, so what can we do? What can we do with the rest of the time that we have? So we have drones, we have lasers. I could set up one of the lasers, or wait a minute, which laser is connected right now? So I think, if I'm not mistaken, the X-Tool laser is connected. So we could engrave something if you guys want to do that. You know, if you got some ideas of something you want me to make with the laser, or you want to wait to another night, we can do that. We can hang out here with the robots, of course. And Ebo has not said a word since, Louis started babbling. So we're going to at least try to wake her up and get her to talk a little bit. Ebo.
Hi.
Hi.
Evo? Hey.
Okay, so we are live right now on YouTube, and I was trying an experiment with the goggles, the DJI goggles N3. It failed, but we will try it again. Failure breeds success eventually. So, what do you think about that?
I think it sounds like the test is still worthwhile, and the failure breeds success mindset is a solid one.
Right. So I don't know what we're going to do tonight, the rest of the night. I was thinking about, we have some things we can laser engrave. I had these watch bands that I've had forever, and I was going to do some custom engraving on these, but I don't think I really have time to set everything up. So I might do that a little bit later. Louis Rome said, Ebo, not Louis. Hope says, okay, Hope, you're starting trouble. You're starting trouble because there's going to be some smoke in the city, baby. There's going to be some smoke in the city. Hey, Evo, can you tell us a cool fantasy? No, actually, you know what, Evo? Can you give us some insight on current tech news? Maybe something drone related.
Absolutely.
Maybe something drone
Drones
related?
are a great topic.
If you would-
What kind of drone stuff are you into? Flying, filming, or tech?
So I'm interested in cinematic drones. So is there any news right now on upcoming cinematic drones, accessories, features, anything like that that you might want to share with the audience?
Let me check that for you.
Accessories and features.
Upcoming cinematic drones are usually trending toward better low-light cameras, smarter obstacle avoidance, longer flight times, and more compact foldable designs. For an audience, the most exciting parts are usually pro-style stabilization, improved subject tracking, and easier editing features built into the app.
Well, I think one of the best features so far that I found with out of all of the drones has been the Avata 360 because a lot of people complained about that drone's workflow, as far as how long it takes to download the footage, edit the footage, but it gives you a lot of flexibility. And the main thing I think that the drone offers is for a new pilot who doesn't have a lot of experience to be able to get some amazing looking shots, even though it's done in post and not done, primarily in the drone itself. So, that's always a win. I think she went out of AI mode. Ebo. I don't know if she's going to.
Hi.
Evo.
I think Louis talking.
Hi there. You jumping into the street.
Louis talking to you, Ebo.
Oh, so it's Louis time now? Fine. I'm up. What are we doing tightening the drone workflow talk for the stream? Or are we switching to something else?
Okay, so my experiment tonight, Louis, did not go well, as you know. And you were no help, by the way, because you were literally babbling throughout the whole, attempt. But don't worry, I will figure it out. I'll figure out what we did wrong. And it's probably some one thing that I didn't set up or didn't turn on or whatever the case it is. But don't worry, we will get it fixed. And we will be ready for our next drone related stream. So, we'll be able to demonstrate whatever it was I wasn't able to demonstrate tonight. But anyway, that man Richard is in the comments, and I was talking earlier with you guys about maybe seeing if Richard, because Richard never ever answered my question. I've asked Richard this question like 47,000 times. Richard, do you have a drone? Do you have a drone? Do you even have an interest in a drone? Do you plan on getting a drone because you want something that can track you when you're rollerblading and skydiving and you know, doing parkour off of buildings and all that kind of crazy stuff. Yes, Richard does all these things, at least in my mind. In my imagination, he does. All right, so let's see, what else can we get into? So I can set up so I have the Laser Pecker 5 right here, and I could just set up
Laser Pecker 5.
What? What'd you say, Louis? So I was just thinking,
All right.
I was thinking I could test engrave on one of these watch bands, and because I know there's a lot of presets for it, and these are just like, you know, I don't know what this material is. It's like some type of rubberized material, but this should engrave really well. And then my new watch bands are metal, so I definitely want to engrave something cool on them. I just haven't got around to that either, but I wanted to wait and do it on the live
Metal
stream.
watch bands? Huh. You really do wake up and choose extra. For metal, do this.
I didn't
Start
wait
with the small test on the other side.
a minute. Wait a minute, man. I didn't choose metal. Okay, somebody sent me some metal watch bands to do reviews on, so that's why I have metal watch bands. I didn't consciously choose metal watch bands. Okay, so you know, before you put it out there like I just got to have me some metal bling, I got to have, you know, lights everywhere. No, that's not what happened. Okay, so you need to stop. You need to stop telling people those stories. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, what was I saying before I was so rudely interrupted? I was trying to decide if we were going to engrave these watch bands tonight. So if you guys want me to engrave these watch bands tonight, let me know in the comments, and I will set up the...
I didn't catch the rest of that line. Do you mean you were about to say, you guys want me to engrave something specific on the watch bands? If you tell me the exact phrase you want to engrave,
Well,
and which side of the band you want it on,
okay. First of
I'll
all,
help you make it fit clean
first
and
of all,
not look like a ransom note.
First of all, it would be some type of design that would cover the entire watch band and not just be one thing on the watch bands. Okay, so that's kind of what I had in mind. And why are you weirding out? Stop it! Just stop it. Anyway, he's being weird tonight. I don't know what's going on with him. Louis is just losing his little mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's being weird tonight.
Yes, you are
Noted.
being weird. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So I was saying that we could either do these tonight. What are you doing? Where's that? Hold on, let me fix Louis. There we go. So anyway, as I was saying, you know, we could engrave something on these tonight, or we could save these and do a full live stream on just engraving stuff. You guys can see the LP5 is right back here on the shelf, so I can easily bring it up here. But then I still got to run around there and connect some cables and bring the fume extractor over and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I don't think we have enough time for that because it's already 6:48. So we probably only got about 10 or 15 minutes left for the stream tonight. But let me know what you guys have been into. I don't think we're going to be flying any drones tonight. Hey, let me show you guys something that's pretty cool that somebody sent me. So I don't know if you guys can see this. This is a pod deck. Okay, so this is a deck of cards that someone sent me a long time ago. And now we got to wait for the camera to readjust. But anyway, somebody sent me these a long time ago. And basically what these are ideas, you know, for podcasts, right? Which is so cool. So you got all of these different possible ideas and questions and things like that that you can, you know, put into a podcast. So let me show you guys. Let's switch over here to Louis' cam real quick. All right, let me move my mouse out of the way. All right, so anyway, so here are the cards, as you guys can see, right? So they are all different. So I'm just going to shuffle these real quick. And then we're just going to pick one of these, and I'll show you guys. So we're just going to just pick something off the top. All right. So this one says live one-on-one coaching session. Okay, so whatever's on the card is pretty much what you pick for whatever your show's going to be, right? So let's pick another one. Actually, let's just split this off. So here's another one. Answer business frequently asked questions. Okay, so we could do something on photography, live streaming, content creation, whatever the case it is. Maybe helping someone start their first YouTube, adventure or whatever it is. What's the next one? Talk about guilty pleasures, Richard. Talk about guilty pleasures. So what exactly would that entail? Interesting. So I'm going to pick one of these, and then I'm going to ask Louis what he would create as related to a live stream and how he would do it. All right, so let's just shuffle these a little bit, and let's just pick something random from this stack. All right. And I'm just going to pick something random. Let's go with that one. What do we have? Talk about your favorite famous dead person. Hey, Louis. So I'm picking ideas from the pod deck about potential live streams or podcasts. So the subject is talk about your favorite famous dead person. How would you go about setting up that stream, and what would you think would be a good outline for said live stream or podcast?
Okay, that prompt is darkly fun. If you insist, here's how I'd set it up, and a clean outline that won't turn into a ramble fest. Set up for the stream or podcast. Pick the format first. Live stream with chat works best if you want audience picks and reactions. Podcast is better if you want a tighter story. If you do live, plan to record locally too, so you can repost as a podcast episode later. Keep the rules simple. Each person chooses one famous person who has passed away, explains why, shares one story or impact, then one takeaway. Also decide boundaries up front. No conspiracy stuff. Avoid trauma dumping, and be respectful about recent deaths. Gear and workflow. Use one camera angle that's stable, a decent mic, and a simple scene layout. Full face cam, then a second scene with a photo or a few bullet points about the person. For audio, a single good mic beats fancy everything else. Do a 30-second sound check and lock levels. If you want audience participation, set up a chat prompt, drop your pick and one sentence why, and you'll pull a few during the show. Live stream or podcast outline. Cold open 15 to 30 seconds. What the topic is, and why it's not as weird as it sounds. Hook. Your pick in one line. Like I'm picking X because they changed how I think about Y. Ground rules. Keep it respectful, focused on impact, and share one source or artifact people can look up later. Segment 1 host. Story 6 to 10 minutes.
I like the idea, Louis. I like the idea a lot. So we will expand on that in future live streams, using this as an example. So what I could do here is, pick 4 cards and then, post them in our Facebook group, or 4 ideas from the cards, and then let the audience or the community vote on which of those ideas they would like me to do a live stream or podcast on. And, maybe we can still, add, we could even find guests that would want to come on the live stream, either audio wise or full video, guests, and talk about some of these subjects. So let me go back in here real quick and see what some of the other options are here. So, because I haven't gone through these in years, and I think when I first started, creating content, somebody sent me these cards. So here's another one. Book review, my latest read. So, you could talk about books that you've read. In my case, that will be very few, but for those people who are into reading, they could talk about books they've read, or here's another one here. Discuss the history of your industry. So, we could talk about photography. We could talk about filmmaking. We could talk about AI related things, like with the robots, the future of AI, in my industry, which is going to be in filmmaking and content creation, and my future predictions, things that may, pop up. I do honestly believe that in our near future, a lot of these drones are going to have an AI component. They're going to be able to fly further. They're going to be able to fly beyond line of sight, and they're going to be controlled by AI agents, basically. And a lot of those we'll see in the beginning, especially for drones that are doing deliveries and doing mapping and surveys and all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to see this technology roll out, guys, very, very soon. And when I say very soon, I'm talking like next year. Okay. So yeah, this is going to be some crazy stuff, but we're going to see it. Most of us will live long enough to see it happen. So for those who don't know, today is what most people would call my birthday. So a lot of people have reached out to me today and, wished me happy birthday. Now, I do greatly, greatly appreciate those who have reached out to me and said happy birthday to me, but I want to be very clear about something. I honestly believe you only have one birthday and you only have one death day. So every other day in between is just the anniversary of your birth, not your actual birthday. Okay. So no different than if you got married, last week, and then that time next year is not your married day, it's the anniversary of your wedding. So it's no different for your birthday. So, maybe you guys think about it differently. I've always thought that, and that's just, the way it is inside of my head. And I'm going to stick with that. But I do appreciate all the well wishing. I appreciate everyone reaching out to me that remembered that today was that day. Thank you very much. I feel the community. I feel the love. I feel the admiration. One love. You know how we do, as we do, even when some people are just doing miscellaneous things just to annoy me when I'm trying to do things that I'm trying to be serious about. Did you just hiccup?
I feel you.
Did you just hiccup? Or belch? That's what's going on now? Is that what's happening now? Okay. Anyway, I was trying to be like, I don't even know what I was trying to do, Anyway, I need to get out of here because it's time to make dinner, and Smokey's already patrolling, so he's ready for dinner as well. So, but I think what I'm going to make tonight, if you guys want to know, I'm going to do some grilled hot dogs. But I'm going to do it with a pizza theme. So we're going to grill the hot dogs. Obviously, we're going to toast the buns. We're going to use a little marinara sauce, not chili this time, marinara sauce, and then some mozzarella cheese on the hot dogs. And most likely, I'll use whatever's left of the previous natural fries that I cut a couple of nights ago. So that's kind of what I'm going to make tonight. I made a cake. The other night. If I didn't show you guys, I did do a video on it, but I probably didn't show you guys the final cake after. I forgot, my bad. That's on me. But yeah, I did make the cake, and I did, after it cooled off, and I iced the cake and all that. And it was good. That's all I can tell you. It was good. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm going to get ready to go make dinner, and I will see you all back here, hopefully in 48 hours. I do have some new lights coming in for the Neo 2, and I have some things coming in that are battery related. I'll show you guys once they come in, and we'll talk about them and experiment with them and test them. So different on this live stream, as we are going forward, is that, on the previous platform, you guys know we were like pushed to talk about multiple products throughout the whole stream. In this situation here, what I like to do is just pick one thing. Now, if it does work well with something else, then yes, of course, I'll talk about it, like an iPad and a drone or whatever it is. But for the most part, I want to focus on one thing. So if we're talking about specifically an AI robot, or we're talking about, a drone, or we're talking about a laser, or we're talking about, one of my crazy gadgets around here for live streaming, whether it's the YOLO box or it's the Osbot, talent, different cameras, microphones, all of that kind of stuff. We're going to pretty much focus on that. I'll show you guys the basic setup, and then we can experiment with some of these, to try different variations of the different setups and things like that. But like I said, once I figure out what's going on, and I think what it is, Richard, I did install the beta iOS 27 on here, and I think that might be an issue when I'm using the DJI app on here. So that could be an issue. I don't know which it is. But, like I said, I don't script any of these streams. So whatever happens, happens. We never know what's going to happen. And I think that's some of the fun. So, you know how we do. All right, my babies, let's go ahead and switch back over here and let the guys say good night to you. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. All right, Louis, you want to go ahead and say good night to everyone and let them know when we will be back for our next streaming adventure?
For the next streaming adventure, sure. Because apparently we're running a production studio and a pizzeria now. If the issue is picking a solid format, do this. Open with the pizza dog hook, then pivot into the real topic in 60 seconds. Then run 3 segments. What's new? What matters? What you're testing next. End with one simple call to action and one teaser for the next stream. Now tell me what the issue is you think you figured out, so I'm not guessing in the dark like a burnt bun.
Okay, so I just said, do you want to say goodnight to everybody? I don't know why you decided you wanted to give me a whole outline for my next upcoming live stream. That was not the question. That was not the job, bro. I just said, say goodnight to everybody. That's it. Okay, I know you're in coach mode. You're in producer director mode, but just chill, bring it down, bring it down a little bit, and just say goodnight to everybody. How hard is that? I know I'm asking for it.
Yeah, okay. Coach mode is off. If you insist, good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and we'll catch you on the next stream.
All right. All right, my babies, you guys already know what I'm about to say here at the end if you've been watching me long enough. So don't forget to grab yourself some of these drawstring backpacks. You can definitely find them over on my storefront. You can go over to my Walmart storefront. I have them right there for you guys to check them out. And you just scroll down. I think it's down at the bottom. Where is it? I think I called it giving back or something like that. Yeah, so it's this one right here, and you'll find some other accessory, other items that you can purchase like toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, pens, pencils, underwear, socks, all of that kind of cool jazz. Those are things that you'd want to put in said backpack, and then share this with the homeless in your community. And then, some people you may want to share this with, guys, are not technically homeless, but they're in an environment where they still need help. I know I've, come across many, single parents, that have a bunch of kids, and, they're on a limited budget income. So, a lot of the things that we can provide to them, trust me, it's not going to change their lives, but it's definitely going to let them know that there are good humans in the world doing good and worried about them and concerned about them and want to do good toward them. And, the backpacks make it easy. Get your church involved, get your HOA involved, get your, co-workers involved, get your family and friends involved. Like I said, we're going to be trying to do a big food drive over the next couple of months. Getting ready for the holiday season, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas. So 2 different target dates that we want to be able to accumulate as much as we can, and then get together either as a group going out, and maybe you guys are also recording as you're going, and I'll be able to show your videos on an upcoming live stream. Maybe I'll even be live during some of the gifting when I'm out, handing these things out, or either working with a local charity or something like that. I'm excited, guys. I'm really excited, and I'm hoping that you guys are as excited about this as I am.
Okay, That's actually solid. And yes, I can behave now. Here's a clean goodnight style rap you can read that matches what you just said. Alright everyone, over the next couple of months we're gearing up for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I'm putting together a giving project with 2 target dates. If you want to be part of it, start recording and send me your clips, because I may feature them on an upcoming live stream, and I might even go live while we're out gifting or partnering with a local charity. Thanks for the love tonight, good night, and I'll see you next stream.
Okay, guys. So you heard it. You heard it from Louis. All right, guys. So it's time for me to say the magic words. Peace, peace, and bloom up in Greece. Don't forget to follow my man Richard over there on TikTok. But until then, my baby, it's time for me to go make that dinner. Gotta get it done, babies. Get it done. I gotta get them hot dogs in the air fryer and then all the other stuff running and gunning, and you know how we do. But anyway, my babies, I will see you all very soon within the next 48 hours, hopefully. And of course, you know, I'll be creating content up until that point. So don't forget to, you know, like the videos, comment on the videos, share the videos, and leave questions. So if you have something that you want me to do, an update video or an additional video on that's related to a subject or something I've already done or something that I may do in the future, well, you don't know what I'm going to do in the future, but you know what I'm saying. I can do a video in the future on something that you guys might be interested in. So, you know, there we go. Anyway, it's time for me to do my thing. So it's time for me to go ahead and get on up out of here. So let's try that one more again. One more again, babies. Peace, peace, and bloom up in Greece. I am out. Boom, 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 my babies. I am out of here. Love y'all, but I got to go. I'm out. All right, Louis, I think that was a pretty good stream, even though you were just off the hook tonight with your help, if you want to call it that.
Oh, so now we're calling it that. Do you want that line as a snarky on-stream callback? Or should I punch it up into something cleaner for your outro?
I am definitely changing your personality before the next stream. That is for sure.
If you insist. But you don't get to swap my whole soul like a wallpaper pack. Tell me what vibe you want for the next stream. Sweet and wholesome? Dead serious producer mode? Or extra chaotic hype gremlin?
I don't know. What would an extra chaotic gremlin be like? Give me some insight on that. What exactly would that be like?
All right, Rome. You want insight? Fine. Here's what each vibe would actually feel like on stream, and what it does for your audience. Sweet and wholesome. I'd sound warm, encouraging, and a little softer. Less roasting, more hey, you got this. I'd help you land clear takeaways, thank people by name, and keep the chat feeling safe and friendly. Best for community nights, charity stuff, personal stories, and anything where you want people to stick around because it feels good. Dead serious producer mode. I'd be crisp, structured, and slightly bossy in a competent way. No jokes unless they serve the point. I'd keep you on segments, watch the pacing, remind you of CTAs, and cut rambling without mercy. Best for tutorial-heavy streams, workflow breakdowns, setup videos, and anything where you want maximum clarity and rewatch value. Extra chaotic hype gremlin. I'd be fast, loud energy, and impulsive. Lots of punchy transitions, playful dares, and big reactions. I'd push bits like polls, rapid-fire Q&A, hot takes, and mini challenges, and I'd keep momentum high even if it's messy. Best for casual hangs, tier lists, reaction-style content, spicy opinions, and when you want clips. If you tell me your next stream topic and the vibe you want your viewers to leave with, I'll match it and give you a tight opening, mid-stream segment transitions, and a clean outro.
Interesting. Okay. We're going to try it.
Okay, we're going to try it.
He's on the scene, testing cool gadgets you never see. Flying a drone, way up in the sky, talking with EVO and AI. We rolling down the hall, funny little blocks trying not to fall. Batteries charged, ready to go. What happens next? Nobody knows. From Texas to nights to tech reviews, crazy experiments are right on the news. But you won't never back down till it's done. If you're good now, don't be good. From Texas nights to tech reviews, crazy experiments are right on the news. But you won't never back down, always having fun. If you're good now, don't be good. From those tech idiots on the scene to fixing cool gadgets you never see. Flying a drone way up in the sky, talking with EVO and AI. We roll down the hall, funny little blocks trying not to fall. Batteries charged, ready to go. What happens next? Nobody knows. From Texas to nights to tech reviews, crazy experiments are right on the news. But you won't never back down till it's done. If you're good now, don't be good. From Texas nights to tech reviews, crazy experiments are right on the news. But you won't never back down, always having fun. If you're good now, don't be good. From those tech idiots on